Yo, all right. So this is SuperBoy Prime versus Sentry. Now, first off, I already got my bet. SuperBoy Prime wins. Okay, there's no conversation. There's no really like things to be had. Like this man, SuperBoy Prime breaks the fourth wall. Like he needed the entire league, everybody and their mama to actually stop him. So honestly, I don't know why we're having this convo, I guess, because we have like Superman lookalike and freaking wannabe Superman. So I guess we're having a Superman like conversation or whatever, but like this is not a convo. Like even like Superboy Prime beats Superman like like bro, this is not a convo, but I am hyped to watch this video because I love Superboy Prime. Like he's so cool, he's so funny too. Like he's a troll, not gonna lie.
Sentry versus Superboy Prime.
These two dark supermen prove that sometimes absolute power corrupts absolutely.
He's Wiz,
Yeah.
I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Damn.
One superhero stands alone at the peak of Marvel Comics. He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all, the Golden Guardian of Good, the Sentry.
Which makes it all the more mysterious when all of humanity forgot about him, as though he never existed in the first place.
What if the reason we forgot Sentry is that he wanted to be forgotten?
To save us from himself.
As the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary high school teen until the day he accidentally drank this super soldier serum.
At that moment, Robbie was imbued with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
That's gotta be one hell of a bowel movement. And what better way to use his new powers than to become a sentry to all mankind?
In a never-ending crusade against his devious
Oh, he had a
arch-nemesis,
mask.
the Void.
He's got all your classic, I can't believe he's not Kryptonian superpowers, like super strength, speed, durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
Do butterflies sneeze?
No!
Well, Sentry cells absorb and process the sun.
Okay, enhanced strength, intelligence, senses, okay. Flight, solar energy, okay. Superman, energy blasts and waves. Force field, that's an invincibility. Yeah, classic. Force field, okay. Energy blast, like through what? It's just his body that's projecting energy all around him. Psionic powers telepathy, mind manipulation, and memory erasure. Okay, teleportation, regeneration, okay, yeah. Molecular kinesis and reality warping.
Rays, and if he wants to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful laser, or bend light away to turn invisible, or use it to make force fields.
Really, the Sentry can draw power from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets, even while holding back.
Sentry can teleport, communicate telepathically, and even read and mess with minds.
He's also a genius with a super brain comparable to Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's even built his own watchtower with an
I don't know, super genius comparable to Reed Richards.
advanced AI
Maybe at the time, but I don't know about currently.
that is constantly monitoring the planet for threats.
Jesus Christ, he's like the Avengers all in one. Why do there even need to be any other superheroes?
Indeed, the Sentry is more than strong enough to take on Marvel's heaviest hitters, like his famous battle with the Green Scar Hulk, where Black Bolt, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange failed. The Sentry was the only one who stood against the Hulk's full power.
He's also battled Thor, who collapsed an infinite number of timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The Sentry is incredibly fast, too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within plank time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's stated to be as fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multiverse blowing up. The Surfer flew so fast he went back in time. So you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some punk in a trench coat.
But it wasn't so simple. The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning building, Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a person's broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
For every good act the Sentry performs, the Void commits an evil one. Because the truth was, the Sentry and the Void were one and the same.
Bum, bum, plot twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack Kirby comic.
In reality, Bob Reynolds was a schizophrenic meth addict who drank the Sentry serum just to get high. And the Void was, in reality, a malevolent godlike entity bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes, from the Bible, with Moses and the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently.
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the Sentry.
So Bob did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it isn't there.
Great. Everyone knows repressing your problems always makes them better.
But Bob's memories eventually clawed their way back, in part thanks to Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and his desire
obviously Norman is
to somehow control the Void. So
they're always trying to control stuff that can't be controlled. And why? Why would you even want that?
Norman had the Thunderbolts murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release.
What? Oh my god, Osborns. Oh my god.
You know, the Angel of Death.
Yeah, try controlling the kind of guy who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of these strong
Molecule Man, yeah, that's... And it's so crazy, like... Just Molecule Man, when Dr. Doom, like, took him, when he became way more powerful, because it was because of Molecule Man. When he killed Thanos, the classic panel where Dr. Doom kills Thanos is because of Molecule Man.
Strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse. So yeah, good luck with that one, Norm.
Molecule Man was another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their self-confidence. In a way, a sort of kindred spirit to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that too.
The Sentry can create and destroy matter on a whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also regenerate his body from any kind of damage, like being burnt to a skeleton or...
What did he say?
Able to
did he say it was
apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also
I am Galactus, devourer of worlds.
Generate his body from any kind of damage, like being burnt to a skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Void's got all of this and more, except he doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With his infinite tendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past trauma.
let's get to you know what, I'm gonna wait, but let's get to
And
Superboy
nightmares.
Prime's
He killed Loki.
feats.
He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, and the X-Men teaming up all at once could
This is
barely
crazy.
handle him. Void is one of the biggest bads in Marvel. Great
Yeah.
fucking job, Norm. I'm something of a moron myself.
The only way forward, the only way for Bob to save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. Let the Void in.
By refusing to repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and Void merged and became stronger than the sum of their parts.
One being, now free to finally live his life without the crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about. What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the Void exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back. Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
Yeah.
Do you believe a man can fly?
Yeah, Wiz, but in the pages
And
of DC
SuperBoy
Comics,
is a comic
everyone in
fan,
their
too,
irradiated
so.
six-dimensional gorilla mother can do it.
Well, what about in the real world? Not Earth 1 or Earth 2, but our own Earth. Earth Prime.
The Earth of you, me, and Clark Kent. A totally normal boy from New England who just happened to share a name with that comic book character.
Mere coincidence. That is, until the day Clark took a leap of faith and believed he could fly.
And he did! Surprise, surprise, Clark was actually from the planet Krypton, which apparently exists in our universe now? Anyway, the real Superman, the one from all those comics he loved, showed up just in time to give him the skinny on being Superboy. Wait, he could have chosen me! I believe I can fly!
Mostly don't jump off the... Clark had all your classic Kryptonian powers. Flight, heat vision, microscopic and telescopic sight, Arctic breath. It was the dream that every little boy had finally come true.
Ow. Just in time for his universe, our universe, to be annihilated literally 1 month later in DC Comics Armageddon. The Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh,
Wiz,
yeah,
We're canonically dead since 1986, apparently.
With everyone he knew and loved gone, Clark took shelter in a pocket dimension with other cosmic refugees. Now an anachronism in DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark was forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became darker and morally complex, as heroes failed to be the paragons of good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people can't stand change, can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did when they were a child. The day needed to be saved by Superboy, the real Superboy, Superboy Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do. Punch really hard. He punched his way out of the dimension so hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics. Superboy was back, and he was gonna fix comic books forever. Hell yeah!
No matter how many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Super Chud Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian. Oh no, he's pre-crisis.
As in, from before the Crisis on Infinite Earths, a time when comics were a bit more...
Yeah, a bit more crazy, because there would be like, bro, y'all need to look at some of these panels where like you just see Superman just being so goofy, just super eating or whatever, just powers that doesn't make sense, and they're done because it's funny, because at the time they weren't really thinking about power scaling. Is the story entertaining? Is it fun? They were just making things up, because I'm pretty sure Superman was created by two Jewish authors, and they created Superman because they wanted a guy that could be just Nazis, right? And it was just basically a boy's dream, like, of a guy that can do anything and that will protect you from like evil. And so the powers they would give Superman would be just crazy stuff, like things that doesn't make any sense.
Comical.
When Superman could sneeze solar systems apart or tow a galaxy of planets behind him
Yeah.
like it was nothing.
Or clash with another Kryptonian so hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear that word a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier, the time barrier, and even the bonds of infinity. I wonder if these
That doesn't
writers
make
ever
any sense.
imagined this bullshit would feed nerd arguments for the next half.
I don't think so. No, they were making these things up to obviously to make things interesting. Like it was fun, you know. People weren't thinking about
Century.
that, and it's really because of the internet. If we're being honest,
Not that I'm complaining.
yeah, it's because of the internet that we're at a state where we're arguing about who's stronger, this or that, you know. But it's fun. It's fun.
That's how I get paid.
Prime would know. He is a self-described
I'm saying I could do that. Not that I will. You have any idea how OP I am? I'm a power scaler's dream, and I love a good tournament arc. You have any? Oh my god.
power scaler's dream.
Huh. You think he's heard about us?
We can only
Yes.
hope not. As a Kryptonian with an ultra-dense molecular
Definitely.
structure, he should also share many of the same resistances, like being transmuted to stone, having his atomic bonds weakened, or getting his energy drained. Kryptonians like Superman can withstand more esoteric attacks too. They can actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks to Earth's good old yellow sun fueling his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which constantly feeds him solar energy. Literally wearing the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe, just to
Oh
be
my-
better and stronger than Superman.
Damn. That's some next level hate. I'm not gonna lie.
Actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks to Earth's good old yellow sun fueling his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which constantly feeds him solar energy. Literally wearing the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe, just to be better and stronger than Superman.
Because that's what he
Ready
thinks
to kill some nerd is crazy. SuperBoy
Superman.
fan.
Because that's what he thinks he is. Superman with better feats and scaling. Superman, but real.
Superman, if he was a fucking idiot. Okay, sure, he has the same hyper-efficient brain that all Kryptonians have, but when it came to being a superhero, he was a violent, immature moron.
Yes.
Exactly what
I mean, he was a kid. Like was a kid. He acts like a kid.
Came to being a superhero,
temper
he was
tantrum.
a violent,
You're going to know my name. You're going to remember.
immature
it.
moron.
exactly what you'd expect from a kid who never grew up and never learned to hold back. Instead
Yeah.
of saving Earth's
He started this. He's just a stupid kid. Yeah, exactly what I said, bro.
heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real, there's a part of him that knows that
Hey, that was like at least 2 reboots ago. And besides, if everyone I killed has been brought back from the dead since then, did I really kill them?
editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol, Justice Society, Teen Titans, and 3 Flashes at once. He effortlessly murdered an alternate universe.
This is the one thing I will say about SuperBoy Prime. Like, his weakness is his speedsters. He hates speedsters. I think this should, like, currently it's become his weakness, and it's mainly because he has PTSD.
Justice League, and even
But you still need a lot of like speedsters to actually be
Earth's heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real, there's a part of him that knows that editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol, Justice Society, Teen Titans, and 3 Flashes at once. He effortlessly murdered an alternate universe Justice League, and even killed his rival, Connor Kent, the new Superboy. Even as other Kryptonians grew in power to become comparable to their pre-crisis iterations, Prime still held an advantage because he never held back.
Like the time he tore apart the Monarch's armor, accidentally unleashing the Big Bang in his his face, destroying the universe, and he was fine.
Or the time a Guardian of the Universe blew himself up in an attempt to stop Prime, blasting him into the multiverse atom by atom, and that only made Prime stronger.
Or the time he fought a potential future version of himself who became a god of time. And instead of teaming up, Prime stupidly attacked him and accidentally retconned themselves both out of existence.
Which sent him home, back to his original universe, our universe. Except now everyone he knew, his parents, his girlfriend Lori, had been reading his comics. They knew what he had become, and they were terrified.
Once again, forced to watch as his heroes progressed without him, he pored over comic after comic, learning everything about DC.
And a little bit of Marvel.
Only to discover his worst possible nightmare.
Not only would he never get to be Superman, he wasn't even a super villain that people liked. Turns out, power levels aren't everything.
So, naturally, he flew to DC headquarters and attacked the people writing his own comic.
Like some infinitely recursive meta hell.
Prime had become a whiny, petulant, reactionary fanboy. Wiz, you think he's the guy posting on our Reddit?
And at the peak of his violent temper tantrum, he murdered the Golden Age Superman, the original Superman. Action Comics #1, the first superhero.
Instead of restoring DC's glorious past, Prime beat it to death. He needed to change.
And that opportunity came when this alternate universe Jokerized
gosh.
Batman Who Laughs threatened to destroy all of reality.
Prime was drafted to help save the day, and it turned out he was the only SuperBoy who could.
Remember that time Prime punched reality so hard he retconned DC Comics? Turns out that was no coincidence. Due to his repeated excursions across the multiverse, Prime became a space-time anomaly, and he slowly learned how to manipulate reality itself with his fists.
I guess you could call it his retcon punch!
At first, its effects were random, like bringing Jason Todd back to life or restoring Beast Boy's memories. But he started to use it to rewrite continuity to fix the evil universes of the Batman Who Laughs.
Giving them and all the characters inside of them happy endings. In a weird way, that's what Superman has always done, right? Punch the bad guy so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter the time stream, seemingly exit the comic medium entirely, and even defeat the nigh omnipotent Darkest Knight.
Who was powerful enough to beat Perpetua, the goddess who created all of DC Comics, the whole shebang. And Prime hit the Darkest Knight so hard, he erased his entire evil multiverse.
A feat that no one actually saw happen. Prime's first true act of heroism was one that he did selflessly, and it was the first step toward becoming a true hero.
The kind of hero that Superman always secretly knew he could be. A hero who could someday get his own issue #1. A hero like, well, Superman.
Maybe one day Prime will truly believe in himself, just like he once believed he could fly.
Damn.
All right, the battle's about to begin,
Prime
but
wins.
first, pitch calls are back. Hey, I'm Ben, the voice of Wiz.
And I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick.
And we're reopening matchup pitches on the Death Battle store.
This is a way to meet with Chad and I, the creators of Death Battle, and pitch your favorite matchup to us via video call.
Yeah, a lot of episodes that are being made right now are because they were pitched. But to give each pitch the time it needs, there's a limited number available. So go pick them up right now before they're gone on deathbattle.gg.
That's our website. It's kind of like our own private Patreon with a bunch of extra stuff in every episode of Death Battle ever made.
And if you're a website member, you get first dibs. It'll first be available to Chronicler tier, then Archivist, and so on.
So somebody
Every
was
purchase
like,
directly supports the show.
Sentry versus
and
SuperBoy
members
card.
also get a
That'd be a
big
good
store
matchup.
discount.
All right, let's get to this battle. But don't forget to grab.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
This city won't last much longer. Quit while you're behind, kid.
And mess up a superhero crossover? No way, Dork. Onomatopoeia coming right up!
You're dealing with someone who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns!
Big mistake, dipwad. It's prime time.
It's what?
Are you kidding me? Another dark Superman fraud? Boring.
Aren't you?
Cool when I do it.
Obviously.
Please, stop hitting me.
He'll kill you.
I'll kill you. To death.
Bye-bye, Bob. It's time to play God.
Not gonna work. It's not gonna work, man. He's gonna retcon this.
You weren't joking. Definitely a crisis level threat.
Yeah.
Luckily, so am I.
Run all you want. If Bob couldn't escape me.
What hope do you have, boy?
Oh my god.
Afraid of the Dark Clark? What kind of a hero are you? Remind me again, whatever happened to Lori?
Yo. Hey, you need to be a speedster, my
It's
guy.
over, Clark.
No.
There is no happy ending. Not for you. Not for me. Not for anyone else. In the void.
Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd? There's always a happy ending.
Sentry lost, bro. Retcon your entire story.
Bob? You kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
Yo.
No idea, Lindy. Best sleep I've had in years.
Crisis averted.
That's. I knew he
I
was
don't
gonna
think I've
retcon.
ever seen someone beaten to death so wholesomely before.
Let's break this down into 3
Aw.
chapters: their strength, intelligence, and powers.
As with any flying brick fight, the first question you gotta answer is, who's stronger?
Prime and Sentry are
Prime.
naturally 2 of the heaviest hitters in DC and Marvel, more than capable
Prime
of
is
matching
more
and
powerful.
surpassing Herald-level opponents like Superman and Thor.
Who are both strong enough to create and destroy an infinite number of timelines with their clashes. Just absolute wacky bullshit like that.
So in order to pick a winner, we have to take a close look at the strongest beings they've fought: Molecule Man and the Darkest Knight.
Sentry beat the crap out of Molecule Man. But remember, Eminem's power can fluctuate a lot, and when he fought Sentry, he wasn't at his full power. So we can only scale this so far.
But Prime overpowered the Darkest Knight after the Mad Bat had absorbed the powers of both Perpetua and, what do you know, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Both of which alone could threaten all of DC Comics.
And unlike with Molecule Man, there's nothing to suggest the Darkest Knight was holding back. In a straight brawl, Prime takes the
Yeah,
edge in
exactly.
strength. But muscles aren't everything. Maybe Sentry could figure out a way around Prime's brawn with his intelligence.
While Prime does possess a super advanced Kryptonian brain, he clearly does not use it to its full extent.
They did not use speed. Speed would have been SuperBoy Prime
It's
2.
less that he's dumb and more that he's a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Prime, it's not even just like, it's not even about the fact that he's a teenager. Like, he's so emotional and is really guided by anger and hatred.
And has a habit of crashing out.
The Sentry, on the other hand, has been compared to Tony Stark and Reed Richards,
Okay, I mean,
some of the most intelligent people in all of Marvel Comics.
Sure, he mentally struggles with the whole void thing, which sucks
Yeah.
for him, but losing control to the void only makes him more dangerous.
And as the Merge Sentry, he's operating at his peak, fully in control of his powers. In a test of wits and wills, the Sentry was the more intelligent. intelligence.
Okay.
But the main
fair.
question in this matchup had to do with their batshit insane powers.
With the Sentry's
Prime.
ability to reshape molecular matter and warp perception of reality to such an incredible degree, his powers seem much more versatile than Prime's. Prime may be stronger, but heat vision, frost breath, and Kryptonian punches aren't going to do much in the long run against someone who can regenerate from a single atom.
But pre-crisis Kryptonians have actually resisted having their molecules torn apart before, and Prime should be no different. So it's not like Sentry was ever going to just Doc Manhattan him away.
Prime could still be worn down. Kryptonians have incredible stamina, but we know that sustained damage will eventually knock them out or kill them.
Unless Prime could find a way around Sentry's insane regeneration, he was toast.
Luckily for Prime, his ability to retcon away your history and mess with your whole timeline was actually something Sentry had no specific resistance to.
Not only that, it was something he's been a
Oh yeah, let me have a resistance to retcon. Like let's be for real. Who has a resistance to that? Like
affected by
let's be
in
so
the
for real.
past.
Like the time
I don't blame Sentry to lose to Superboy Prime. That's Superboy Prime. Come
the
on.
Scarlet Witch rewrote all of reality during House of M. Bob's continuity was rewritten like everyone else's.
Or the time Absorbing Man had the powers of a cosmic cube and warped Sentry's personal reality. Shit, Moonstone literally describes it as a reality punch.
Now, Sentry's psionic power could theoretically retcon himself from Prime's perception of reality. However,
Yeah,
this
but he needed help though.
feat required assistance from Reed Richards, and
Yes.
it's unlikely he could pull it off mid-fight.
Pre-crisis Kryptonians also resist a lot of mind manipulation anyway, so good luck trying.
Now, Prime hasn't always had the most perfect control over his retcon punch, so he might need more than one blow to finish the job.
But Prime was more than capable of powering through Void's scariest abilities.
Like having his soul eaten or being cut off from sunlight. I guess that Edgelord solar armor came in handy after all.
In short, Prime could resist everything Sentry could throw at him, but Sentry couldn't do the same. Prime takes the final edge in powers.
With no way to easily put him down, Prime would eventually.
If they put speed, honestly, they cut it down to 3 categories. But even like normally they add the category speed, and Prime would have taken
Hustle his
that
way through and retcon the void away from.
because Sentry has teleportation, but that doesn't mean like Super Prime wouldn't be able to touch him just because he has teleportation. Like no.
Good.
Sorry, Bob. Defeat was unavoidable.
The winner is Superboy Pro.
Oh.
Oh, hey, my pizza's here.
The winner is Superboy Prime. The editors? Oh yeah, I win. That's right. You hack frauds really tried to lowball me, but I checked the clock and it's prime time, baby. Now, personally, that intelligence section was such a gimme. I don't crash out. I'm a tragic hero grappling with real, intense emotion.
This is a
anytime I want. But
That's a
anyway,
fun video.
Don't subscribe, don't join as a member, don't watch Death Battle, read my comics. Prime out.
no, that was a dope video. I like this video.